Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. Excuse the subdued lighting, but up early in the morning heading out. I got about 5:30, it's now 6. All the dogs put away, got my hot dogs cut, and I'm off to a group class. A large group class I go to that is in Riverside. It's like an hour away from me. Usually most of my stuff is about an hour. I've been going down to Ted's place and working dogs with him. About an hour and a half to get to him. So it is what it is when you're living away so far out. It's part and parcel of the game, I suppose. So we're getting up early in the morning. We're taking Price, Red Dobie, with me. And Price is getting towards the end. His owners will be picking him up in a week or so. And coming in from Vegas. And it makes me think about my satellite customers, let's call them, okay? Those that come in from distances. And certain trainers have that. I mean, we live way out in the boonies, or we live a certain place, and the only way the customer is going to be able to touch us is by coming in. So I've had customers from Arizona, had customers from Vegas, I've had customers from all over the place. And one of the things I do, because I do my in-kennel and I do my 30-day stints that I do at different stages of the dog's development as I'm building that house, right? A lot of times I'm working with young dogs and puppies and that kind of thing. So one of the things that I tell my customers that are satellite customers that are from a distance away is they're very much behooved, because you know they're not going to be here for lessons, right? They live a long way away. I had one customer tell me they were in Arizona. Oh yeah, we'll drive in. We don't mind at all. We'll drive in every week. And they didn't. I kind of figured they wouldn't. And it's just not natural for people to travel like that all the time. It becomes a hardship, right? You might have somebody that does it once or twice, but to do that all the time is not going to happen. So what I usually tell those customers is that I always give 3 or 4 lessons after they get their 30-day stint. That's part of the package. And I work with my customer 3 to 4 times to make sure that I get them up to speed and can get them enough under their belt that they feel comfortable with working that animal and understand how I've conditioned it, etc., right? So I usually try to get these customers come in for a weekend. Grab a hotel room. Doesn't need to be fancy. I mean, who cares? You're just sleeping 90% of the time anyway, right? Get a Motel 6 or one of the chain motels and get yourself a room and plan on spending the weekend. And I will give you 3 or 4 lessons in the morning, and then an evening, and a morning, and an evening, and that's 2 of the days of the weekend. And then you drive off back home, and you've got enough under your belt at that point that you should be able to do okay. Would that be better if you were in my area and you spent more time with me and did more lessons? Sure, the more knowledge you've got, the more you learn, and allow me to critique and be outside of that fishbowl, and that's what we do. Basically, we're a coach, right? We're getting your skill levels up to a level that you can work the animal, and that you know how the dog has been conditioned, and then take advantage of me getting inside your dog's head, because that's what I do. I mean, every dog is different. We talk about that all the time, right? Not every dog's the same. So I may be conditioning one dog one way, and then there'll be a little bit of changes, a little bit of differences with another dog based on their personality, based on who they are. So let's go ahead and use an example of that. Price. Price is very affected by that food in his face, right? He almost was to the point of being frantic, right? So I realized that he would be better off by getting into a conditioning of waiting for that marker and waiting for the reward with those little pause levels that I give, right? So you put him on a down, you kind of give a little pause level, and then boom, and the dog gets used to that pause level and that time span, and he starts to anticipate and expect that time span. He learns to wait, right? He learns to have patience, because Price is just a spastic little boy, right? And his mind is floating like a butterfly. He's just a young dog, and he's all over the place, right? That being the case, it behooves him to learn to wait. Those pause levels is where it all starts, right? So now I'm hanging that food up in the air in my hand. He's watching the food, and now he's learning to wait, because he knows that within a time level that I'm going to say, click, and I'm going to bring the food down to him. I'm going to bring it to him. So now he's going, oh, I got this game, right? So we're building pattern of waiting, right? Within the structure of the obedience, within our duration marker and our good, it's part of that. It's part of the hang time that I'm putting in with him. But that's true with most all our training, because if you think about something, what have I said before? Impulse control, guys. Everything's about waiting. Everything's about waiting and being patient, and boom, it will happen, right? And so you're teaching the dog that. You come to the door, you make him sit, you throw the door open, he's got to wait, and then I say, price. Good, price. Yep, and that's his release word out the door to go to the bathroom, right? Or I'll keep him with me, and I have a with me command, which is a general heel. It's not a focused heel. It's not the fancy heel stuff. It's only just a with me, means stay at my side, and you're going to be in a relaxed mode, but you got to be in tune with me and know what I'm going to be doing. I just don't expect the head in the air, and I don't expect that prance. That's a focused heel. That's a competitive heel, right? That takes hours and hours to do, guys. It may look good on film because I've got food in the dog's nose, but it takes hours and hours to get that out of the animal. You saw Rocky doing it. He was about 1.5 years before he finally started getting to that point, right? We see Draco building on that right now, and Draco's 8-9 months old, and he's got little curves he's throwing us and little trials and tribulations we're getting through with the dog, but we'll get there, right? All right, so let's go ahead and chatter a little bit more, and then we'll get off of here. But so I'm taking Red down to the class today, and the main reason is because there's a lot of people. They usually have 40 people, maybe even 50 people that show up here in different stages. They've got a beginning class. One guy's out there calling the tune for that. Another instructor's calling the tune for intermediate and advanced. And so there's classes all over the place in regards to this large piece of property they've got to work with. Me being a professional and them knowing me so well, I go out there and I kind of just do what I want to do, and I attach myself to whatever class that I feel is best for the dog, and I may stay there, and they're going through their class for a whole hour. I may not stay there for 10 minutes, and I pull my dog out. Why? I've got my dog conditioned to different time levels in his length and longevity and how long I keep him out there. Everything's usually short and sweet. And then I also have the dog pattern to my releases. So I'm going, yes, boom, and the dog gets to go into explosion release. That doesn't allow you to do that when another person is calling the tune. And he's got a big class of people, and these people are having to learn a lot different than what I would do with my dogs and the conditioning that I put into my dogs. So it's still, though, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of dogs, and then there's this agility course that I had built at my old piece of property when I was with Teeny. Remember that agility course? I took it from this place we're going to. And so now my only opportunity to really get a nice agility course like that is to go out to their class on the Saturdays. So that's kind of the reason I do. I go to their place so that I can do my thing and get the dog some agility. That's why I'm taking Price. I'm taking him for 2 reasons. One, the beginning of class, a lot of people all getting ready to pay their fee for the class, getting their money put in for the class for that day, and then that's a lot of congregation, a lot of dogs, a lot of things that this dog has never seen. So that's what the exposure I want, and that's a gold mine for me, right? It's using environment to my advantage, right? Knowing what things are around me and what I can use for my animals to grow is very important, right? And I use a lot of environment, so that's what we're going to do with him today, is go do environmentals in the class. And this next week, my goal is to do as many environmental type of things as I can with him and build up on his downstay, right? So, and then I think the customer's coming next week or maybe the following, or they're going to be coming to pick up their dog. They live in Vegas, okay? So we're going to find out how that goes. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, signing off. Starting my day early in the morning as usual. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.